Lil Wayne, whose real name is Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., is a renowned American rapper and a Grammy Award winner known for hit songs, albums, and mixtapes including Lollipop and AMilli. He was born on September 27, 1982, to 19-year-old cook Jacita Carter, known as Cita, and Dwayne Michael Turner in New Orleans Hollygrove neighborhood. His parents were high school sweethearts who met while attending high school. In 1984, the two tied the knot in an intimate ceremony, but their marriage did not last long, and shortly after, they got divorced. Dwayne would spend his early life moving between Cita's house and his grandmother's. Jacita attempted to fill the void in Dwayne's life with a series of temporary father figures. Lil Wayne considered his late stepfather, Rabbit McDonald, as his real father. Reginald McDonald, also known as Rabbit, would later move the family from the Hollygrove neighborhood of New Orleans' 17th Ward to East New Orleans. Despite facing challenges in his home life, Dwayne, a remarkably gifted student, exhibited early signs of talent as a performer. He begins his journey into the world of rap at the age of 8, captivating audiences at neighborhood parties. His performance at one of the parties caught the attention of Lil Slim, a Cash Money rapper. At approximately 11 years old, Dwayne actively searches for another paternal influence. Brian "Baby" Williams, co-founder of Cash Money Records alongside his brother Ronald "Slim" Williams in 1991, filled in the gap and had a significant presence in Dwayne's preteen life. By 1993, Baby and Slim's reputation extended beyond New Orleans, marked by a local hit with their group UNLV. Wayne was introduced to them by one of their artists at that time by the name Lil Slim at an autograph signing session. The 11-year-old Dwayne did some freestyles at the spot which impressed Baby and Slim, who then gave him their business card. Lil Slim and Dwayne were from the same block. Dwayne found himself captivated by the brothers, their lifestyle, and the entire atmosphere at their newly established Cash Money record label. They generously allowed him to spend time around the office, entrusting him with various errands. The Williams brothers would eventually sign the young rapper after he repeatedly left freestyles recording on Baby's answering machine. However, his mother, Cita, at first would object to this and didn't approve his son to hang out with Baby, who before forming Cash Money Records had spent some time in jail. Also, Dwayne was skipping school while hanging with the Williams brothers. Due to his mother's objections, Dwayne's involvement with Cash Money was limited until he was 13. In November 1994, a 12-year-old Dwayne Carter attempted to commit suicide after his mother had told him that he couldn't rap anymore. He shot himself with a gun in his left chest. The authorities arrived only to step over the child and begin collecting the gun, as well as drugs they found, as evidence. Despite being off duty, an officer named Hubler rushed over to help after hearing a police dispatch on his radio. He was the only one to come to Lil Wayne's aid. Wayne was rushed to hospital, where he spends 2 weeks in intensive care. Recovering from his incident, Lil Wayne marched on to welcome his first gig, in which he was hooked up with another newcomer, Lil Doogie, later more well known as BG, to form a rap group, the BGs. Doogie and Baby D began working on their debut EP, True Story, in early 1995 in anticipation of a July release. With newly signed in-house producer, Manny Fresh, at the helm and features from labelmates Mr. Ivan, Miss T, and Tech Nine, True Story was released in the summer of 1995 to an overwhelming positive reaction and served as a precursor for the formulation of supergroup, the Hot Boys, a mere 2 years later. During this period, Dwayne dropped out of school when he was in 10th grade. However, a positive turn of events occurred after the passing of his stepfather in early 1997. With renewed permission to collaborate with Baby, he left behind his previous unsuccessful endeavors and went on to establish a new musical group called the Hot Boys in 1997, alongside Juvenile, Turk, and BG. A fifth member, Bulletproof, is originally part of the group, but leaves before any recording. The legacy of the Hot Boys started when the four lifelong friends were asked to make a guest appearance on Juvenile's solo debut album, Soldier Rag. The response was so strong that brothers Brian and Ronald Williams, co-CEOs of Cash Money Records, persuaded the four to start recording as a group, and the group's 1997 debut LP, Get It How You Leave, sold over 400,000 copies in the South and Midwest. The eagerly awaited second album from the Hot Boys, titled Guerrilla Warfare, was released following Cash Money's distribution deal with Universal Records and achieved instant success. It is during this time that Lil Wayne first went out on tour as a young teenager, and his mother, who he affectionately refers to as Cita, became so lonely that she asked him for a grandchild to keep her company. This would sound like a strange request to most, but Wayne understood it. According to him in an interview, he said it was part of where he was from, how he grew up, and the responsibility he felt to his mom. Eventually, he and his ex-wife Toya Johnson gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Regina Carter. Wayne and Antonia married in 2004, before divorcing 2 years later. At the age of 16, Lil Wayne was on his way to music stardom. The Hot Boys were now making waves both as a group and individually. BG's remarkable fifth album, Chopper City in the Ghetto, went platinum. The single Bling Bling hits number 36 on the Billboard Hot 100 and popularizes bling in the hip-hop cultural lexicon. While Wayne does not have a verse on the original version of the song, he's responsible for its memorable chorus. In a 2009 interview with VH1, Baby gave Wayne credit for inventing the word bling. "If I had have knew better, I would have copyrighted that shit," he'll say. Though Lil Wayne had been known in several states by 1999, it wasn't until he released his solo debut, The Block Is Hot, 1999, that he really got his big break, being known all over the states. The 70-minute record was, remarkably, almost completely free of profanity. The 17-year-old MC didn't want to upset his mother, so he kept the salty language to a minimum. The Block Is Hot album peaked at number 3 on Billboard's album chart and at number 1 on Billboard Top R&B Hip-Hop Albums, while at the same time scoring him a nomination for 2000 Source Award for New Artist of the Year, Solo. In the subsequent years, the rapper hailing from the 17th Ward of New Orleans released Lights Out, released in 2000, and 500 Degrees, released in 2002. Unfortunately, both albums failed to replicate the success of his groundbreaking debut, achieving only gold certification from the Recording Industry Association of America. The title of the 500 Degrees album was inspired by Juvenile's multi-platinum record 400 Degrees, released earlier on in 1998, and it was intended to surpass Juvenile's sales record, who had departed from Cash Money earlier. However, the album's sales proved to be disappointing, reaching only 536,000 copies in the US and 900,000 copies worldwide. In 2002, Wayne and former Hot Boys member Juvenile began a feud after he named his third studio album 500 Degrees as a diss in response to Juvenile's 400 Degrees. Juvenile retaliated with a diss track on his 2002 album 600 Degrees. The conflict briefly eased in 2004 when they appeared in a music video together. However, tension escalated when Carter paid tribute to the Hot Boys with I Miss My Dogs in 2004, leading Juvenile to criticize it as fake. Despite the discord, they eventually reconciled in 2014, with Juvenile re-signing with Cash Money Records. From 2002 to 2003, feeling frustrated with label politics, Wayne took matters into his own hands and independently released underground mixtapes with a collective known as The Squad. Displaying remarkable productivity, Wayne unleashed 6 mixtapes, labeled SQ 1-6, throughout 2002 and early 2003. By 2003, Wayne made a significant decision to halt the practice of writing down his rhymes, not signaling an end to his rap career, but a deliberate choice to refrain from putting pen to paper. He believed that the act of writing was limiting his creative expression. He used up his last written lines on a 35-minute non-stop rhyme marathon called 10,000 Bars, released as SQ7. The recording is a mixture of full verses, song fragments, and half-fleshed-out bars. In search of fresh creative alliances and aiming to distance himself from his previous experiences, Wayne relocated from New Orleans to Miami. This move proved beneficial as Wayne swiftly connected with Miami native DJ Khaled. In early 2004, Wayne introduced his evolved style on a mixtape collaboration with Khaled titled The Drought, the inaugural release in a series of mixtapes bearing the same name. Over the subsequent 4 years, Wayne emerged as one of the most prolific artists in the industry, delivering 3 solo studio albums, a joint project with Baby, and an ongoing flow of unofficial street and internet-exclusive mixtapes. Between 2004 and 2006, Wayne continued to build his online reputation with mixtape releases. With DJ Drama, he released a tape called Dedication, where he rapped over instrumentals from the likes of Cameron, The Roots, and Tupac. The tape drew much attention from the hip-hop press. He used these underground releases to drum up anticipation for his next official album, The Carter. In the summer of 2004, Wayne's 4th studio album, The Carter, was released, marking what critics considered advancement in his rapping style and lyrical themes. In addition, the album's cover art featured the debut of Wayne's now signature dreadlocks. The album seemed familiar on one hand with Manny Fresh's production, but the Wayne on the cover was a dreadlock surprise, and the rhymes he laid on the tracks showed significant growth. His marketing skills had become sharper, too, and it was no mistake that the album's hit single, Go DJ, mentioned hip-hop's greatest tastemakers right in the title. On the flip side, his street cred was supported by a slew of mixtapes released in 2005, including the popular titles Dedication with DJ Drama and The Suffix with DJ Khaled. Cash Money's future was no longer in doubt, and traditional music business rules no longer seemed to apply, as tracks were leaked onto the internet and various DJs' mixtapes. With his alternative marketing scheme working in overdrive, the 2005 landing of The Carter 2 was a major event, selling over 250,000 copies the week of its release. Fireman and Shooter with Robin Thicke were released as singles, while the album, which for the first time featured no Manny Fresh productions, went platinum. The same year, he launched his own sublabel, Young Money. While it was initially only a vehicle for Wayne's material, it later was a platform which put future stars like Drake and Nicki Minaj on the map. A year later, he collaborated with Birdman for the Like Father, Like Son album, featuring the hit single Stuntin' Like My Daddy. In 2007, he recorded another Carter-titled album, The Carter 3, which was released on February 12, 2008, and received his first award, the 2007 BET Hip Hop Award, for MVP of the Year. In response to several unreleased tracks being made public over the internet, Lil Wayne released the download-only EP The Leak in 2007. The songs came from his work on his anxiously anticipated next studio album, which was finally released in 2008. The Carter 3 hit the top of the rap, hip-hop, and pop charts, selling more than 1 million copies in its first week of release. The Carter 3 features several successful singles, including the #1 hits AMilli and Lollipop, a track that he recorded with Static Major. Jay-Z appeared on the track Mr. Carter, and T-Pain was featured on Got Money. Babyface, Robin Thicke, Busta Rhymes, and Joel Santana also made cameos. His star continued to rise, with each album in the subsequent years achieving notable sales and securing prominent positions on the charts. Despite receiving criticism, Rebirth in 2010 was certified gold, while I Am Not a Human Being the same year not only reached the top 10 of the Hot 200 but also regained respect from music reviewers. He made a triumphant return in 2011 with the 4th installment of The Carter, selling an impressive 964,000 copies in its first week. With The Carter 4, he achieved the biggest sales week for a male solo artist since Usher's Confessions, 1.10 million, and Garth Brooks' Double Live, 1.09 million. However, there was a downside to his success. Leaving New Orleans without a criminal record, Wayne soon found himself entangled with the law. In August 2006, he was arrested in Atlanta for possessing marijuana, Xanax, and hydrocodone without a prescription. In July 2007, amidst the success of The Carter II, Wayne, now one of the most sought-after rappers globally, comes to New York for his inaugural headlining show. Feeling disrespected by a police security check before the performance, Wayne launches into an anti-police tirade, delivering a spirited show. After the event, the NYPD stopped his bus a block away, discovering 8 ounces of marijuana and a .40 caliber semi-automatic pistol. Although the marijuana is attributed to a member of Wayne's entourage, Wayne is charged with illegal gun possession. In October 2009, he pleads guilty to the 2007 New York weapons charge and awaited sentencing. His jail sentencing was delayed for, of all things, dental surgery. Wayne required 8 root canals and several teeth to be removed and replaced with silicone implants. The sentencing was delayed again after a fire at the courthouse. Eventually, on March 8, Wayne was sent to Rikers Island to serve a 1-year sentence. Wayne's 8th album, I Am Not a Human Being, dropped on September 27, while Wayne was still incarcerated. It marked a historic moment as the first album to reach the top of the Billboard charts while its creator was incarcerated since Tupac's Me Against the World. In 2011, Wayne spends most of the year in the studio working on Carter IV. It was going to be his first post-jail album. In June, he released Sorry for the Wait, a mixtape of him spitting over other people's instrumentals as a way of apologizing for the delay in releasing the album. The Carter IV was released and sold 964,000 copies in its first week. In October 2012, Wayne experienced a seizure on board a private jet. His Los Angeles-bound flight was grounded in Texas, where he was rushed to hospital. Publicists initially denied that it's a seizure, claiming severe dehydration instead. Days later, he's reported to have had a second seizure, also on board a plane. In November, he admitted to being on anti-seizure medication as a result. Wayne's 10th album, I Am Not a Human Being 2, is released in late March, hot on the heels of his hospitalization. On February 10, 2014, Drake tweeted Carter V. On October 18, 2013, Cash Money Records Vice President of Promotion Mel Smith tweeted, Happy Friday. New YMCMB music coming soon. On February 15, 2014, during the NBA All-Star Weekend festivities at Sprite's NBA All-Star Concert at the House of Blues in New Orleans, Carter appeared as a special guest during Drake's set and performed various hits. Carter and Drake then announced that the Carter V would be released on May 5, 2014. On December 4, 2014, just 5 days before the album was due to be released again, Carter issued a statement saying the album would not be released on its expected release date, due to his displeasure with Cash Money Records label boss Birdman, refusing to release the album although it had been completed. Wayne also expressed his feelings by stating he felt both he and his creativity were being held prisoner. On January 20, 2015, Wayne independently released Sorry for the Wait 2 as a sequel to his 2011 mixtape, compensating for the prolonged delay of the Carter V. The mixtape included multiple disses directed at Birdman and Cash Money Records, leading to reported displeasure from Birdman. Subsequently, in late January 2015, Wayne filed a lawsuit against Birdman and Cash Money Records, seeking $51 million in damages. Due to the ongoing delay of the Carter V, Wayne announced in February 2015 that a free album would precede the 5th installment in the series. In June 2015, Wayne became an artist owner on Jay-Z's Tidal, launching the partnership by exclusively releasing the single Glory on the platform. He also unveiled plans for his Tidal X concert series. On July 4, 2015, Wayne released Free Weezy album exclusively through Tidal, under the labels Young Money and Republic Records. During a performance at Club Live in Miami on July 12, 2015, Lil Wayne was doused with drinks thrown from the VIP section of the club. That booth was alleged to have been occupied by Birdman and his entourage, accounting for yet another chapter in their heated feud. Following a lengthy legal battle, Lil Wayne was confirmed to have been released from his contract with Cash Money in June 2018 and announced the release of the album in September. The album received generally positive reviews and debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 with the second largest streaming week for an album of all time and with 480,000 units sold. On March 11, 2018, Lil Wayne and Birdman reunited once again at Club Live, the latest hint that their legal and personal issues with each other have the possibility of being resolved. The moment, which was caught on video and posted on social media, captured the two embracing each other in a brotherly hug and engaging in conversation in their first show of solidarity in over a year. On March 31, 2018, Lil Wayne further fueled speculation that he and Birdman were back on good terms by attending Birdman's release party for the Before Anything soundtrack. Birdman posted a picture of himself with Wheezy on Instagram.